Dawson's Rambles.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Ryder here. Today is going to be another top 5 video surrounding Dino Fury. I just recently did a top 5 wants and do not wants for Dino Fury for the series. And then these next two videos that are going to be happening over the next couple weeks are going to be top 5 wants, which is this video, and later top 5 don't wants or do not wants, or you know how it is, just not. Stop. Don't. So let's go ahead and get started. So this is my list of things that I want to see out of the Dino Fury toy line upcoming. So coming in at number 5 is I want to see better quality control. And I know there's probably going to be some people that say it's a pipe dream because they've dealt with Hasbro for years with QC and stuff, but it can't hurt to put it on a want list. It would be nice to generally have better QC across the board, including stuff like the Lightning Collection, just because it's kind of annoying to have to sift through a bunch of figures to not find one that has a bunch of paint nicks or acceptable paint nicks, and then especially if you order it online, either because you can't find it or you just happen to, and then there's no way of checking it. So I think that should be something they could improve on over the course of time. I would really like to see that, and Dino Fury is a perfect place to start improving on that. Number 4 is taking advantage of the Lego gimmick. If you do not know, in the Ryusoulger mecha, there is a very Lego-esque customizable gimmick to the way they transform, and they advertise it a lot in the Ryusoulger line where you could customize it and do all these formations. Like, they would even show ones on the box, if I remember right, that weren't in the show. And I think that would be really wise of Hasbro to continue that. It'll probably piss some people off, like the anti-Zord builder people, and like, oh my god, you shouldn't do this, it's ruining everything, my whole life's ruined because of it. But I think it's a good marketing strategy. I thought it was a cool and fun way of customizing the Ryusoulger ones. I still wish they would have taken advantage of that in the show. Like, they could have made a really cool Fuster Cluck given the fact that they can all click together. But I think it would be really smart of Hasbro to advertise that and take advantage of the fact that it's fun and customizable for kids. I wouldn't even be mad at seeing some original Zords or repaints or something just to add to it further. Again, that's probably something that would piss people off, but I think it's a cool gimmick, and given that Hasbro is known for transforming stuff, I think it would give them a leg up with this one, and I think it adds a little bit more potential than the Go Busters mecha had. Number 3 is kind of a twofer, is just figures that I personally want to see out of the line, and we're likely to get some form of some of these, but number 1, I want to see figures for the armors. Ryusoulger had these really cool different armors in the series. They also had the arm ones. I mean, I'm sure we'll get something with that. I don't really care, though, about that as much. I just want to see the mecha-based ones, and of course Max Ryusoul Red, but I'm definitely hoping we at least get some, if not all of these armor figures. And then in addition to that, which is sort of semi-related, I really want to see a figure for Gizorg, which I get a feeling we'll probably get, and then Ryusoul Brown. That would be pretty cool if he ends up being in the show. So those are ones I want to see, as well as, like, I'd love to see Lightning Collection versions of, like, Gizorg and Max Ryusoul Red. I'm not necessarily opposed to the armor ones getting Lightning Collection, but I feel that's a little bit unlikely, but those two I'd like to see as well. But those are just ones that I for sure want to see in some form within the main line. Now, number 2 is a better 6th Ranger morpher in some form, and this has been a problem that has plagued us since Neo Saban Bandai era. For whatever reason, they decided that the 6th Ranger morpher is a D-list toy that nobody wants, so they would make it like the B version of a morpher, like the not non-functional, but like minimal functions, minimal sounds, minimal looks. And that's continued, I was gonna say so far in the Hasbro era, but it's only been one thing, in which we made the 6 Rangers morpher. Not only do we make it a Nerf gun, but it was the worst looking one. Now, like I said, I've said this in numerous videos, but I don't understand why they don't think the 6 Ranger morpher will sell. I'd love to see, not I'd love to see, but maybe there's data on it, I just don't know. But when I was younger, that was one of the more exciting releases for me and my other friends that were into it, was the 6 Ranger stuff and the 6 Ranger morpher. And it's not as if the 6 Ranger morpher is the price of the giant big mecha of the Sentai year. It's like 80 bucks. Like, you could still make it even cheaper than the main morpher and still make a decent release. So I would like to see it have a decent release. Unfortunately, given that in the Sentai, his morpher is a blaster, and if they keep that, it definitely leans itself towards being another Nerf release. Now, I'm not necessarily opposed to that. If I had my way, I would be able to have a regular one and a Nerf one. Second had my way, it would be a Nerf one, but with some sounds for a morpher. But I would, at the bare minimum, if they make it a Nerf one, can you at least make it look good? And, you know, the Nerf ones are more primarily targeted towards, you know, the younger kids, the younger collectors, younger fans, whatever. But my main sticking point with this is, we got 3 Nerf releases in Beast Morphers, which was the Cheetah Beast Blaster, the bow and arrow thing, the Beast X bow or whatever, and then the morpher. And the Beast Blaster and the Beast Bow looked good. There was no sounds or anything, it was just the nerf, but they looked good. But then for whatever reason, Gold Rangers looked awful. So bare minimum, guys, if you're gonna do nerf for the 6 Ranger morpher, at least make it look good like you did the other nerf releases. That's really the main thing that bothered me. If all the nerf ones had a cheap aesthetic across the board, it would make sense. But for whatever reason, the Gold Ranger was the only one that got nerfed. Thank you. Now, number 1 is I want to see better distribution for the main mecha. I think better distribution in general. I know, again, this is another problem that lots of people warned us about with Hasbro that have been dealing with it, but it can't hurt to want better for it. I feel like we had kind of a strong start once everything came out, and then it felt like things really tapered off in general, but really the mecha is the thing that needs better distribution. Especially the Red Racer Zord and the Gold Ranger Zord. I know some people that have stores in fictional lands that have like Medjur, they've been able to find it, but as far as like in most places, like they are not really at Target and Walmart's. I think I saw one person spot them. So, and Red Racer Zord is the centerpiece of the whole mecha formation line until you get to Beast X King, which as of this recording is still MIA. And that one's the one is missing. If Silver was missing, would it be annoying you couldn't complete your collection? Sure, but at least he's not the centerpiece. Red is literally the centerpiece of all of your fun, and the fact that he was so hard to find was kind of awful. Like, all I saw for the longest time was blue, yellow, and silver, and now I see nothing. So I think that that should have been like one of the main centerpieces of the line in general was the mecha, and they seem to be few and far between, and the best ways to get it were either online, and in the case of Red and Gold, you kind of had to find a quick deal where it's like, oh, it's up for normal price. Or the big set, which the big Amazon set was a cool deal, but you shouldn't have to buy the big expensive set to get Red. There may have been people that just wanted Red or just wanted the Core 3, and you shouldn't have to lay down the big money to get the exclusive set on Amazon just to get it. So I think Zord distribution, especially for your centerpiece mecha, needs to be better, which is really relevant for Dino Fury since the Red Ranger's mecha is also the centerpiece in this series. But that's it for my list, guys, of the top 5 things I want to see in the Dino Fury series of Toyline. What do you guys want to see the most in this series Toyline? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, if you like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell to get notifications for my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.